And I ran so far away, and we should. You're watching Smart Remarks. So the front page of the Drudge Report Tuesday was full of these stories about Iran. Oh my God, Iran's going to get the bomb. John Kerry's talking about how lines have been drawn and passed, and Joe Biden says that Obama is not bluffing when it comes to the possibility of a military strike. And so it becomes apparent that, yeah, we probably are going to take a poke at Iran sometime sooner rather than later, and that's a good idea, don't you think? I've long believed that Iran's been penciled into the dance card long before now. You know, we had Iraq, we had Afghanistan, we had Libya, there's calls for the U.S. to arm the Syrian rebels, so Iran's next on the hit list, right? All this, of course, because Al-Qaeda and terrorism and Israel and democracy, and, well, you know, maybe the oil running beneath the sands over there has something to do with it all, I guess. But I got a couple questions here. My first question is, what's all this going to cost? I realize we shouldn't subordinate national security issues to checkbook issues, but at a time we're running around saying, oh my God, there's no more money left to spend, how is it that we've got this huge chunk of change to drop on war with Iran? We got that much money sitting around. Really? Well, don't you think maybe we'd be better off spending it here in America on Americans? And I got a second question. I realize this is going to be an outrage, but how certain are we that Iran's trying to get the bomb? And even if they are, how is it that the old strategy of containment that worked so well with the Soviet Union can't possibly work with Iran? Why do we need to roll the dice in an attempt to short-circuit a capability that may or may not exist in a strike that may or may not be successful and run the risk of a wider regional war? There seems to be this idea that Iran's run by these lunatics who are going to use a nuclear weapon the moment they get their hands on one. The nanosecond it's completed, it's going to be lobbed into Israel. Really? You know, if I'm Iran and the United States and Israel are constantly talking about how they're going to take a swing at me, don't you think it's possible that I might want a bomb for defensive purposes, for insurance? And do we think that the people running the show over in Iran are so stupid or so crazy that they'd run the risk of turning their entire country into a smoking radioactive crater, the retaliation that would come immediately after any Iranian nuclear attack? The assumption here is that Iran is crazy and we have to do something before they bomb all our cities, or something like that. You know, all I see is that we're continuing our march through the Mideast. Whatever our stated rationale, the unstated rationale is that we need to ensure access to the region's resources. We need to deny them to China. And yeah, if we can help Israel in the process, that's great. That's the trifecta right there. So yeah, we're probably going to war with Iran at some point. You know, maybe it'll distract the country from the ongoing economic malaise. Maybe it'll ignite some nationalism, some jingoism. America, freak yeah! Maybe it'll solve all our problems. Or maybe it will result in a problem bigger than the ones we started with.